Inside Our Community is a program which celebrates Caribbean culture in the UK and looks at artistic, musical, culinary, political and social achievements. This program will speak to some of those behind our great achievements, such as pastors, teachers, politicians and entertainers. But we will not only look at what is going right in our community, we will also look at what is going wrong inside our community.
Good afternoon, Winston.
Good afternoon.
Little pretty thing, you know I'll be all alone. Oh, please don't make me cry. 'Cause I know.
Now, you're a massive pioneer within the industry. Now, what I'd really like to know, what was it like for you in the early days? And, you know, can you tell us about some of the producers you worked with? I know Lauren Atkins and Eddie Grant were two of them. Can you expand on that?
Well, first of all, in the early days, it wasn't easy. You work and you make record, but you don't get no money, you know, but you loved it so much, you just continue, you know, to do the best you can. I worked with Eddie Grant, Larry Lakin, and also Pat Roden. We did a song together, you know, same thing for breakfast.
Wow.
It went well, you know, number 2 in the reggae chart. Yeah, so we're coming from a long way, you know.
Excellent, okay. Now, I know you went on Eddie's Nigerian tour. What was that like?
Eddie's Nigeria, I didn't go on Eddie's Nigeria and go tour. We went separately.
I see.
Because I had a LP out called African Girl,
Right.
and he was doing his own thing, you know, and we was at EMI, you know, so we met up, but he was doing his own thing. And I
Okay,
was
so you
doing
kind of bumped into each other
yes,
while you were out there.
yes,
Okay,
yes, and we had record release at EMI. Mine was African Girl, sold very well, you know. Get all a letter from Nigeria back in England, says, oh, Winston, we really appreciate you coming and blah, blah, blah.
Amazing.
And we need some more stuff from you. And, you know, I felt very good.
I'm sure you did. Wow. I mean, amazing. Okay. So I know you wrote the UB40 hit.
Yeah.
Please Don't Make Me Cry. What inspired you to write that tune?
Well, I wrote you that Please Don't Make Me Cry for myself. We did it at Chalk Farm Studio.
Right.
There was this producer called Hot Rod. He was doing some tracks with, I think it's the Cimarrons, you know, doing some tracks, and I happened to be at the studio, and there was somebody trying to do something to the track, but it wasn't working, right? So I said, let me have a go, man, let me have a go. And they played the track 2 times, and the idea come in my head and say, this is the right beat for this song, you know? So I just get a piece of paper and go in the corner, say you won't leave me, but I'm begging you to stay, you know. And I just fit it in, one take, and that was it. That's history.
Cheesy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Right.
UB40 did it, you know. Pleased with that.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it's still going, still getting radio plays and still getting a little bit of
Quality
royalties.
never goes out of fashion. Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. So, do you feel that UB40 treated you fairly?
As far as the song is concerned?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not up to UB40 to pay you for the songwriting, you see.
I love that reply.
You know, you get a MCPS that look after the writers.
Yes.
All they do it, and you register. Once you're registered,
Yes.
it automatically comes to you
That's right.
how much is made. So it's not like I sang it for them and they have to pay me as they go along. I automatically get paid.
So it was more the mechanical technicalities
That's
of
right.
everything.
That's
yeah?
right.
Okay.
Because they don't know how much money I get or
Yeah.
how much I don't get.
Absolutely.
Because it's not their business. They, they only know how much they earn
Yeah.
from doing that song.
Exactly.
Which I don't know how
Well,
much
that's
either.
wiped some myths out of the ballpark,
Yes,
I'm sure.
yeah.
Okay. Have we got any shows or albums to look forward to?
Well, I haven't got any shows at the moment. Last month I did a show down by the West End.
Yeah.
What was it club? No, I did the show, and then 2 weeks after the club closed.
That's a shame.
Right? And then I did it. What's the name of this artist? Down Pen. Both of us was on the same bill.
Oh, like major pioneer
Yes,
show.
and
Yeah,
we had
yeah.
about 700 people there.
Wow.
And they wanted to hear the night shift that I did. You know,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
big in Germany.
Uh-huh.
And the Please Don't Make Me Cry. It was a really good night.
Oh, wow. I
But
can
at the
imagine.
moment, I haven't got anything planned because I'm going to Jamaica soon.
Oh,
you
well,
know?
that means you might come back with something then.
Might.
Okay.
I might. You never know. You know.
Brilliant.
Yeah. But for releases, the African Girl 2 I just made up. That was, remember I said to you,
Yes,
African
the-
Girl 1.
yeah,
It was
yeah, in
Nigeria.
Nigeria,
I just
yeah.
had African Girl 2 now, which is on iTunes. And I've got a box set, you know, that is out there ticking
I'll have to
over.
look that up. Did you hear that, everyone? African.
Girl 2,
Two.
so you can
Okay.
see it if you tap out, you know, the
Okay.
usual.
Look for it, find it, buy it. Now, as we discussed earlier, you have a massive influence over the people that listen to your music, and you know it inspired generations. How do you feel about the music of Jamaica today, and how would you kind of like compare it to when you were in your prime and the music you were making?
Well, there's no comparison really, you know. Ours, like you said, was the pioneers' days. We were trying to do something, you know, from the ska right up. These days, they've already got it made. They got it made because we already started it. So they can do anything on the back of what we
Yeah, they're
did,
standing on
which
your
is
shoulders.
good.
Yeah.
Which is good because I remember I was at Hammersmith Palais, me and Johnny Nash and Bob Marley on the same bill. We were doing a contest, you know. You know, they got the singers, then you pick which one sing better to get the prize.
Okay.
and we were the judges,
Okay.
you know. Yes, I remember that. Hammersmith Palais in the early days.
Right.
Not a lot of people know that. Yeah.
See, you surprised me with that answer because a lot of people would be saying, oh, the music's like this, the music's like that, we don't like it. But you've been quite objective.
You've got to the music changes.
Yeah. And every
Younger people coming up, they do their own thing. You know, you listen to it. You might criticize a bit, but personally, you don't go out and criticize their music.
well, every
because it's their
generation has
time.
its rebellion, doesn't
Yes,
it? Yeah,
it's their
definitely.
time. So, you know, leave them alone and let them
Oh,
do their
bless.
thing.
Have any of your children followed in your footsteps?
Well, my son played the drums and the guitar, the biggest son. And my daughter do a little bit of singing,
Okay.
but they leave it to me.
Oh, okay.
They
Okay.
leave it to me.
You're the man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been amazing speaking to you today.
Okay.
Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and don't spend too long in Jamaica because I will be sitting here waiting for you to say, "Wow, I was inspired," you know. And I just had to write
I just
another
had to
album.
write another song.
Here I am sharing it with you.
Okay.
Okay.
I won't spend too long away.
Okay, thank you. It's been
And
lovely speaking
and
with
thank
you
you
today.
very
God
much.
bless.
Okay.
Bye bye. Today I have the privilege of speaking with the legendary Eugene Poole. It's an honour and a privilege.
Today's a
Thank
pleasure
you.
to be here.
Help me. I'll take you there. Come on. Somebody help me now. I'll take you there. Help me. I'll take you there.
You're in the film industry, you're a songwriter, you're a singer, you play the guitar.
Several.
I mean, you're so talented.
Thanks for that. You know, just to say that I've been involved in music since I was born in the Caribbean. I'm listening to my grandfather with the guitar, and then I've been an impresario of the village. I picked up on the guitar, like the instrument. I used to make my own guitar as well, small little 4-string. And then I got involved in music through the inspiration of the late great Sam Cooke, who have inspired me immensely.
So, I mean, as you yourself said, you've been labelled as our Sam Cooke.
I studied Sam as a boy, man. I ate Sam, I sang Sam, school, day and night, on the street with my friends, playing the guitar, checking out the girls, you know, doing the work. I love Sam. Sam was one of the greatest vocalists ever lived. He was ahead of his time. Seriously.
You would say that accolade has served you well then, yeah?
Certainly. I use it as a platform to write my songs, tapped into him. It's hard to get rid of the sound of Sam from me because he was such an inspiration to me. And through him, it was like a calling for me. So I became, Eugene Paul became part of Sam, loving Sam and his music. Still, I went on to do other things, but he was a great inspiration for me. And many of the great singers in the world, ahead of his time.
Okay, let's move on to another part of your career. Now, we've seen you in many films.
Yes, I do work as an extra, film extra, and I've been for a long, long time. You may see me in a lot of Desmonds.
Yes, indeed.
Some of the early EastEnders, we were the first background artists in EastEnders. I've done most of the original ones of them, still doing it. And a lot of feature films as well, you know, like Jack Nicklaus Superman, the first Superman, we were some of the policemen.
Wow, okay.
Worked on numerous things, a lot of big major films. I've been part of it, done a lot of stage plays, stage work. I worked in the musical called, which you may remember, called Black Heroes, the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah,
I
massive.
played Sam for 20 years in that typecast. Again, I went as far as Jamaica, 1994. I had a splendid time in Jamaica at the War Theatre. Was there for about 12 weeks, playing Sam in the Black Heroes, the Hall of Fame. And still did it here. We went to America, but unfortunately I couldn't make the American trip. But I played Sam and another play called Reed Petite, the Jackie Wilson story.
Yeah.
I played that Sam, and it was featured up northern side of England.
Wow.
Yes, been around.
With all that in mind, has it ever occurred to you to try and get, you know, some bigger parts in films and not just be an extra?
But the film industry, see, you have to take it to a level to be on a level. You got to wait around for 3 to 6 months to get a part. So in regards to what I do, it was like a living for me doing that kind of stuff. I've called it the use. You know, I'm still with an agent who find me work. I'd love to at one point, but you know, my beginning and the wanting and happening is from the music side, writing and producing. I just get the love of it, you know, the inspiration to write songs and stories about things which may have happened to me and some things that may have inspired me as I walk along the street.
What I'm getting from this is that, you know, you love the entertainment industry as a whole, but music is where your heart will always be.
And I stay right there, man. I do love writing and singing and performing. It's so embedded in me from a boy going way back in the Caribbean, listening to calypso, blues, jazz, soca. I do all sort of music. I do calypso, soca. I had some great soca hits called Why Soca So. I made it in 1981 and one called There's an Island.
Okay.
It was a carving of a great American song and it was released on Smokey Joe Sunburnt label.
Okay.
So I do a fusion of music.
I've heard that you're all over the internet with your new album.
Yes.
And your CD.
Yes.
How are the promotions going?
It's a task. You know, it's hard because in the sense of it is, especially being a soloist, you have to be able to write, produce. The marketing is a struggle because this is a one-man thing, and so it can take its toll. But what do? You guys keep on going, keep on working. So I'm still there. I just have a new single out. Living in Hackney, I just came up with this idea called Hackneywood.
Okay.
Because Hackney is being transformed from where it used to be.
It's evolved, isn't it?
So now I've got this concept which is now being worked on, and it's called Hackneywood. We've got Hollywood, we've got Bollywood, We got Nollywood. Why can't we have Hackneywood?
Why not?
So therefore, I got the single, which is I just put online about a week or two ago, and it's a concept which I want to get involved in, whereby recording, writing songs, and putting formative things together. So I've used it as a front concept Hackneywood, because I live in Hackney, and it has a lot of talent, a lot of great artists. Very creative.
Definitely.
Yeah. And it's been coming very market. So I like to be part of that for myself and my grandchildren.
Why not?
As a legacy. And from all the people who has been around with me, who have inspired me. Like Winston. And I go way back from the Palmer days as we spoke about. We used to record every day. Dennis, Winston, Groovy. I was able to record with Owen Gray, played piano. Laurel Atkins. Derek Morgan, because those days this guy came from Jamaica, was working in the camp with the Palmer record. I was thrust in there as a boy, you know, and this guy took me under the embrace and the wings and put me through that kind of stepping ladder up
And
to
you
get
never
involved in
turned
music.
back?
No. See, they're my best friends today.
Yeah.
Dennis Al Capone, and so it goes on.
From my heart, I have to say, Mr. Paul,
Yeah.
thank you for being a part
It's
of
been an honor
our
for
community,
calling me, having me.
and may you long continue
Absolutely.
to influence, educate, and inspire
I'm
us.
starting every day. I'm a boat at the post
Yeah,
to go and go a long, long way.
I
It's a
certainly
pleasure.
believe you will,
Thanks for being here.
and I'm sure we'll see you again.
Certainly. God bless.
Thank you. God
Take
bless.
care.
Thank you.
Today we're going to be interviewing Denzel Dennis, a great pioneering reggae influence.
And I was but a fool, too blind to see you're the only girl for me. But now I see the light, everything gonna be alright, baby. Hold me tight.
Good afternoon, Denzel.
Afternoon, my dear.
First of all, may I offer you my deepest condolences for the loss of your wife.
Okay, I understand, yes. Thanks.
Can you describe what life was like for artists like yourselves in the 60s, being a new force with a new sound?
Well, in England in the 60s, I came here in 1962. We have a lot of record shop that was doing our music, but it was being played mostly by our people. And then after, well, like Patrick would say, people like Prince Busters and Millie Small and myself, Laura Lakin, we helped the music to spread to all different people.
Okay.
But in those days, like you ask, it was hard for music to get through to the white people because they call it different name. When they're calling ours music ska, it wasn't ska, it was boogie and blues. Because we were doing blues and boogie from the 50s.
Okay.
And so when, after blues and boogie is rock and roll, and we was versatile to do every music that we feel into our Jamaican beat.
Yep.
Because we, like I said, if we had sound system, so if you hear an American song, we decide to play a guitar and you get a different bass line,
Yeah.
and we create our own music. Sometimes sound better than the originals.
Highly influential.
Yes, sometimes better than the
Okay,
originals.
so can you name a few more people that you were working with back then?
I came to England in 1962. I had Owen Gray, Laurel Atkins, Jackie Edwards, Millie Small. Me and she do our first show in 1965. When I came to England in 1962, it's like I have the best of the Jamaican music in Brixton.
Wow.
3 record shops.
Wow.
I helped form Rio Record, Children Records. So it was good until 80s.
Laid them the foundation. So there's definitely, I mean, we've identified there's a journey of progression in your music.
you know, you went from reggae into soul, and now you've gone for the more gospel or inspirational style of music.
Yeah.
What has inspired these changes?
Oh, all right. In 1985, I recorded a song called "You're the Entertainer," and Maxi Priest was there to say, "Which should I?" And Maxi Priest came in the chart at 10, and it went on to be #1. Mine came at 11, and it stayed at 11 until it reached number 16. So I said, I'm not gonna do none of these old-time reggae music again. I'm gonna go to gospel. So from 1986, I just started singing gospel. I think I make my best payday with Give Thanks.
Okay.
Sold over 40,000, and I heard it in the sound system. I heard it in the church, and I hear it all over on the radio, because we did a Studio One type of music, which Studio One produced the best reggae music to dance or listen to.
Yeah.
So we did a Jetstar did it. It's a good payout for me. It helped me to change my life, but it helped me to understand music in a better form. Even my lyrics, I'm more conscious of the things that I would have said being a Christian.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it does help me. I am thinking now at 70 to do some of the dancehall music too.
Okay.
It would be gospel types, you know, but it would be the same feel.
Behind it.
Don't
Yeah.
take it with that, don't take it. Yes, that you can.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm sure there's many gospel parties that would welcome such music.
Yes.
Definitely.
That's why I told you I had reggae songs of praise for VP Records. My friend Lion Campbell, me and Pat Roden, and him was at Phillips Record in 1968. And he rang me from America and said, Denzel, I'm looking for Owen Gray. I said, what for? He said he wanted Owen Gray to do a gospel. So I said, what about Denzel Dennis? You know, now I can sing. He said, yeah, it's going to take too long. So I said, all right. So I went in the studio with Mafia and Fluxy band, and within an hour, I had 10 tracks. So I phoned him and said, listen, I did the 12 tracks that you want already. So he said, how could you have done that so fast? But I tricked him. I did the choruses of the song and turned it into a medley.
Okay.
Instead of giving you 3 minutes or 4 minutes of the song, I give you half an hour. The half an hour cover the whole album.
But that's smart, and it makes it not monotonous, surely.
And he used that idea to let Cardell Clark sing the same tracks, but the same style of an arrangement by doing medley as well, and there's a good combination.
Still pioneering.
Yeah, it helps.
Okay, so are you working with any of the artists that you did back in the days now?
No, not much. Simple because I changed. Only one singer that I always worked with from early 70s, B.B. Seaton of the Gaylors.
Okay.
We always work. I do a run 3 album for him. I saw him every day, and we do music together in and out of the studio. If you want a big good harmony, you have to come to Denzel. Then Scott Denzel, then he can harmonize. He sings in many ways, different form. So we always sit down for a joke and. All right, him, B.B. Seaton is the only one that actually. Derek Morgan, if I go to Jamaica as well, I have to go in the studio. When the Prince was alive, and I see him, he said, what happened, Denzel? You don't sing. And he will be introducing me from one of the men that do it in 1959, and he sadly passed away, but.
You just actually led me with perfect timing, exactly where I was going to go.
Well,
the unfortunate passing of Prince Buster.
He started the music industry, not Coxsone and Duke Reid. Plenty of people think it's Coxsone and Duke Reid do it, but it was Prince Buster that actually recorded our first good Jamaican music. Coxsone recorded music before, but it wasn't for the sounds. Prince Buster, the voice of the people, he make it for the sound system. We're talking about 1959. So that's why when we came to England in 1962, we had so many black record shops in Brixton, 3.
Right.
Where there's white people running them, but they used a black man like me, and then his brother Joe Manzano, and another person that's Black Patrick, to sell our black people, while the white man collect the money and drive the big cars, yeah. But at the time, to me, it was still good to know you come in a place and white man is dancing your music and.
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was good at the time, yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for coming to see us today. I feel really privileged to have, have been able to find out a bit more about one of the greatest pioneers of Jamaican music. And I thank you for giving me that opportunity.
Okay, my dear.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Okay, come in.
And I was